Yeah, so today we'll see the relationship between tables. We'll see the relationship between tables. Okay, so there are so if I take a use case, let's say if I take a use case wherein I've created a student table and with the list of subjects he or she is appearing for exams. Okay, so this table will have the roll number, name, and the subject code and the subject name. Okay,
Yeah.
just 4 items, right? So roll number, student name, the subject code, and the subject name. Okay,
Yeah.
so roll number 101 is having Alice, subject code let's say 111, and subject code let's say C programming. Okay, then 102 we have Ben, and subject code let's say 222, and let's say SQL. Okay, is this
Yeah.
making sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so now if I enter this record 103 Charles, and if I repeat this will not make any sense, right?
Makes sense.
So to avoid
I
this
mean,
I can put a unique column over there, unique constraint.
yeah, no, but sir, this would make sense. I mean, like Charles can also take the C programming exam, right?
Okay. Chalo, let's do that.
In this case.
And what if over here I write SQL? Now
Yeah. That.
this will lead this is called as anomaly. What is this called as?
No.
Anomaly in the database. Like there are some abnormalities. This data needs to be first made rid of all these anomalies. Okay, so a better way would be that I create two tables. I create what? Two tables
I guess
like
one
this.
you can have the subject. Yeah.
Okay, let me put it over here so that I can have two tables like this. Okay, making sense?
Yeah.
So now what would I name this table as? Student,
Information.
and this I would name as subject, right?
Yeah.
Now how would you relate this table? One student would have how many subjects?
They would have, let's say, one subject, or they can have multiple subjects.
Multiple, right? So
Yeah.
what I would do is, let's say if I say one student can give multiple subjects, right? So I can relate this table with which relationship? Rather, this is an example of many to
One to
many.
many. Yes.
Rather, this is an example of many to many. Subject and student example. You can fit this into many to many. Let's take example of one to many first. So I'll take a simple example. Let's say employee and department. Okay. So if I would put all the details of that employee in one table, it could lead to anomalies. So we'll see what anomalies this can lead to. employee number, employee name, department number, department name. Okay, other columns I am not considering right now. So I'm just taking 4 columns in the table, which is employee number, employee name, and department number and department name. Okay, so let's start with 101 Alice, department number 111, department number IT. Okay, now 102 Ben. If he enters 222 and enters IT again, this is an abnormality. Like, how can IT department have 2 codes? So okay, so let's take it this. So this is one of the abnormalities. Let's say this was the finance department Ben is working in, Charles. And if I have 3 3, if I have 222, and again if I write over there IT, this also is an abnormality. Yes. How come department name IT is having 2 department numbers? So to get rid of these abnormalities, what do? I separate these tables into 2 parts. One keeping the details of the employee, and another keeping the details of the department, correct? And I will make these 2 as the primary keys. Make these 2 as the primary key. So can primary key be repeated? Can primary key be repeated? Primary key has to be unique, right? And here I will put the unique department names. So 111 is IT, 222 is finance, 333 is marketing, then 444 is production, 555 is sales. Like this I have a list of. Now if employee number Alice is working in is working in the marketing department. Alice is working where? So what I'll do is how would you relate these 2 tables as? How would you relate these 2 tables as? This is the employee table and this is the department table. So 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to 1, many to many. You have the 4 relation testing. Is it? There'll be only 1 employee in 1 department. Do you think so?
It's going to be many to one.
Many to 1 or 1 to many?
Many to one.
Many to 1, because many employees work in 1 department, right?
Yeah.
So which is the primary key of the 1 table?
The E number, department number.
The D number. This is the primary key of the 1 table, right?
Yeah.
So you add that as an extra column to the many table. This is added as an extra column to the,
Many table. Yeah, it's kind of figured.
and there it becomes a foreign key. There it becomes what?
Foreign key.
Foreign key. So when the primary key is added extra to the 1 table, that is, it becomes what?
Foreign key.
Foreign key. So now here this PK is now FK, right? So this is an extra overhead we have. This is an extra overhead we have when we are doing when you're relating 2 tables or joining 2 tables. You have to add an extra column, okay? And that extra column would be called as what key?
Foreign key.
Foreign key. Yes. And now whichever department that employee is working, just give the department name, number. So this makes sense, right? So Alice is working in which department?
She's working in IT.
Okay, if I can also add the location of that department, like which city that department is located in. Okay, so if
Yeah.
I can add the city, okay, so we can add cities of US, New York, California, New Jersey, and also in New York and Houston, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So if I ask which city is Alice working in,
New York.
which city is Ben working in,
California.
which city is Charles working in?
New Jersey.
Okay, now if I just keep on adding, like if I add one few more employees and these dom is added to the finance department, so what do I put over here? Eric also is to the finance department. Now can you give me a count of people working in the finance department?
Yeah.
How many?
3.
Three, correct?
Yes.
So if I also, let's say, normally we add the foreign key at the end, okay? Normally we add the foreign key at the end of the table. Not, it's not hard coded, but normally it's the last column. So if I add one more column to the employee table which we had earlier, known as the salary column, okay? So the employee has a salary. So 800 to Alice, 900, 1000, 1100, 1200. Now, can you give me the total salary of people working in finance department?
You can sum that up, and it's going to be 3,200.
Yes. Can you give me total salary city-wise? Like total salary of people working in New York, total salary of
New York.
people working in California.
New York 800. New Jersey 1,000, and California is going to be
So now we'll fire such queries on these two tables. Understood? So this would be what relationship? And one to many is unidirectional. Is what?
unidirectional.
Unidirectional. Like one employee working in many departments. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, what would be 1:1?
And one person only works in each department.
Yeah, so it's like in India we have city and mayor. What do we have?
Mayors, yeah.
So
Every city only has one.
yeah, like one school and principal. School and
Principal, yeah.
principal. So if I have two tables, one table is school and the second table is principal, and school has its attributes like school registration number, school name, year of establishment, address, blah blah blah, right? And principal also has his or her attributes, social security number, principal name, gender, age, xyz, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now how do I relate these two tables with now?
It's going to be 1 to 1.
1:1, right? So that relationship would be, so the school would have attributes such as registration number, school name, year of establishment, address, correct?
Yeah.
Principal would have social security number, name of the principal, age, gender. Okay, now tell me, which are the primary key over here? PK
Yeah, or
and PK over here, correct? One table will have only one primary key. One table will have only
one primary key.
one, and generally it's given to a column which is of type number. Normally, yeah, whatever I have come across, we give the primary key to a column of which data type?
Contact number.
Number, yeah. So it's just that it has to be unique and cannot be null. So if you feel the name is unique and a name is also not null, you can try for name also, but we normally give it to the number. Okay, now if I want to join these two tables, now the relationship is what?
Join them, it's going to be 1 to 1.
1 to 1. So now it's up to me whether I bring this PK over here as foreign key
Yeah.
or I bring this PK over here as foreign key. It's up to my discretion. Are you getting the point, Krish?
Yeah, it's making
It's
sense.
it's always once primary key has to move. Which primary key has to move? The table which is
Being related or
the table which is 1, right?
yeah.
So once primary key has to move and become a foreign key in the other table, right?
Yes.
So here both are 1, right? So how many options do I have? Option 1
Yeah,
is,
you can put the school data, school PK into the principal.
yeah, so the option 1 would be, this would be my option 1, okay?
Yeah.
So I would take the primary key of the school and add it where? As a foreign key. Okay, I've taken the primary key of the principal and added it as a foreign key over here. Make sense?
Yeah.
So this is your foreign key. And which other option do we have?
Swap it around, put the school principal key into the principal's.
Yeah, so we also have this option available, that we can take the primary key of the school. This, so either ways you can do this, whichever way you feel comfortable. Normally the thumb rule is the small has to make a compromise. What has to make a compromise? Smaller one. So which is small? The school is small or principal is small?
Both are same size.
No, like in stature.
Oh
School
yeah, so like
school is big, right? Comparatively.
okay, and that's
Yeah, so we can move the small. We'll ask the small to compromise and we'll ask the small to move. So either way you can do this. So this is called 1 is to 1. 1 is to many. Many is to 1 is more or less the same. Now we have third is many is to many. What is third? So what do you think is many is to many?
For that, I'm going to assume that it's like whichever one makes more sense. So
No, many is to many is bidirectional. Is what? So when I started with that student and subject example, what did I say? This example is more suitable for. So when I initiated this session and I was doing that example of student and teacher, right? So I said this example is more suited for many to many, correct?
yeah.
Yeah. So why did I say that? So if I have a table called student and if I have a table called subject, okay? So if I have list of students, so these are my students, okay?
Yeah.
and these are my subjects: C programming, Java programming, SQL programming, Python. Okay, and we have Android. Okay, let's see. Now tell me, can Alice enroll for more than one subject?
Yes.
So Alice has enrolled for C and Alice has enrolled for Python. So what is this? One student, many subjects? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is one is to many, correct? Also, C can be enrolled by Alice as well as by Ben as
Yeah.
well as by Dom,
That's right.
right? So it's what? One subject, many students, right?
Yeah.
So this is bidirectional. This is
Yes.
bidirectional, right? One subject, one student, many subjects,
And
and
also
one
students one subject.
subject. Is this making sense to you?
Yeah.
So when it's bidirectional both ways, many to, that forms many to many. That becomes what?
Many to many.
So this is called as many to many. A bidirectional one to many is called as
Many to many.
many to many. Am I understood?
Yeah.
Can you give me other examples of many to many? Okay, I'll take actor movie. I'll take what?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Actor movie. One actor in many movies.
Yes.
So one to many,
Also many actors in
and
one movie.
one movie has many actors.
Yeah.
So one to many both ways.
Yes.
Similarly, product and supplier. Product and
Suppliers.
supplier. So if I have two products, iPhone and OnePlus, okay, and I
Yeah.
have two suppliers, Royal suppliers, Regal suppliers. Now, I this person buys iPhone from Royal and also from Regal. So becomes what?
Many
One
to many.
product from many suppliers? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
So one is too many. And Royal also supplies him OnePlus also. So one supplier supplying many products.
Yeah.
So in such cases, when you have by direction of one to many, we'll use many to many. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with the first one, school and principal, correct? So first I'll create the smaller one and then we can shift that primary key to the larger one, right? So steps. So first let's create principal table. Which table?
The principal table.
Okay, I'll be spooling this. So let's so this is the folder and in this we'll make a file by today's date .txt. Which file?
Dot txt.
And now whatever I write over here will be recorded in this file. So first thing first, which table should we create? Create table
Principal.
principal. So let's start with it. Can you help me with that? So let's take SSN. That will be a number or is it an alphanumeric key? Okay, let's stick to number
You
for
can
the
set
let's stick to number for the team for the meanwhile. Number of 5, and it
yeah
is my
primary key.
then principal name
Marker 2.
varchar 2 of 10, and it cannot be null. Then age number of 3,
Number.
and we'll give a check that age should be greater than equal to 40, let's say. Okay,
Okay.
and then we'll give gender, that will be
Marker
2
2
of
with length 1.
size 1, and we'll give a check on that saying gender in
Gender.
either M or F. Okay, make sense? So we've closed the in, we've
Yes.
closed the check, we haven't closed the create. Okay, created. Now we will create which class, which table.
Student or school.
Now what? School number, number of 5, and school name. Next, year of establishment. Okay, that will be a number of size 4, correct? Number of, so you can put a check if you want over here.
Yeah, we can. Let's say it has to be after 1900.
Yeah, so you can put a check over there.
Like greater than
The year of established should be what? Less than
19.
1900?
No, greater than 1900.
Greater than. Okay,
We
you
want.
don't want
We don't
school.
want the school so old.
No, our school in Pune was Bishops. It was established in 1864. My
Okay.
school's establishment date. So you want all the schools should be established in the 20th century. Okay?
I mean, I was just like, yeah.
Okay. And that check is done for this. And then, okay. And then just give the city of the school, which city that school is in. And now we'll have to bring the primary key of principal over here, right? So what is the primary key of the
Yeah.
principal?
It was
SSN. So I will say SSN. And references. Which keyword?
references.
References. There's an E also over here. Okay. References. Which table is it referring to?
Principal.
And in that principal, which column is it referring to?
So we just write references principal.
Yeah.
First one. So
Which which table and which column in that table? Okay.
yeah. So
Correct.
this is basically like making loop weights, right?
Yeah, you're joining these two tables on this mutual column. So this is we are
It's
creating
like
the final.
combining
This is
different
the
classes.
foreign key is being created at line number 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is
I'm
how
saying
you.
it's like in Java, like we're creating the object. It has that. It looks a little bit like that.
Yeah, sort of. You're just creating. You're just linking these two tables on the mutual column, which is the SSN, and this SSN line number 6 will act as a foreign key now, and it will link both the tables. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can
It's just
think
like,
of that.
and we can have a different name. So like the first three characters on line 6 right here. Can we have that as like PSSN, for example?
Yes, yes, yes. You can have it as ESS and whatever name you want.
Just exactly like object.
Yes, you can have it. Okay,
That's fine.
makes sense. So you want to stick with ESSN or SSN only?
No, I was saying P, but it's fine. You can remove it. Just SSN.
Okay, whatever you can give whatever name you want to give to this foreign key, but it has to references which table and on from that which column. Okay,
Yeah.
and not necessary that the column name should be same, only the data type should be same, only the
Data type.
yeah. So I cannot PSSN now cannot references P name, because P name is of what type,
What?
and PSSN, and what is this SSN is of what type.
I mean, but we haven't given PSSN any sort of like data type. It's just
Yeah,
PSSN references.
yeah. So if people try to give a data type over here, that is not valid. The
Okay.
type, the type of the foreign key should be the type of the primary key. So what is the type of SSN in principle?
Number 5.
So what should be type of PSSN?
Number 5.
So this references will copy the data type. So
Yeah.
for rule of creating the foreign key, the data types of both the columns should be same. The name can vary. Okay. So now when I hit enter, table created.
Yes.
Now in which table should we insert now? First.
You should insert in the principal table.
Yeah,
First.
because we will be needing that over here, right?
That's the one being passed
Yeah,
over.
because the like similarly when we had done over here, we had created the department table because we are going to use this D number over here, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, we'll insert into which table first?
The principal.
Principal, so that we can use the SSN and values, right? So let's start with 101. Let's take our employees as principal now, and age, right?
Yes.
And gender. Okay.
Yeah.
You press the up arrow key to repeat the now to repeat the previous command. Just press the up arrow key.
I have some experience with command prompt and terminal.
Yeah. So 52. Okay, and just adds one more female we can add as a principal.
Eric.
So Eric would be a female again. Okay, added. So if you want to see the records, what we can do is, okay. Now let's add insert into which table now?
The school.
Now let's school secure session security number. School registration number was 111, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so school. This is what my school name is in Pune. School name. Then we had year of establishment. Okay, my school I'll have to shift it to 1964 then. And then city Pune, and principal of my school is Alice. So 101. Okay.
Yeah.
222. So we have one more school over here called St. Vincent's. 74 Pune, and Ben. Okay, Alcid is the principal for that.
If you want to add like one school from here.
Yes, 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 please. Yeah, but it should be in 10 digits because I've given varchar
Yeah.
10. Yeah,
It's just RYERSON.
R.
Y
Hmm.
ERSON.
Okay, rare establishment. Let's give it 34. And which city?
Toronto.
Toronto. and Principal Charles. Okay, so these records are sufficient. From make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to show the uh, school name and the principal name, what I want to show?
School name and principal.
Display school name and principal name. So how will I now both are in two different tables, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we do that? Select. Okay. The column which is in multiple tables should always be prefixed by its table name. I repeat, the column which is in multiple tables should always be prefixed by its table name. By its what?
Table name.
But here fortunately we don't have any column which is, because you asked me to change the name of the column SSN, right?
Yeah.
So if ever we have to use SSN, so now we can use it even without the table name. Why?
Because it's unique.
Yeah, because they are two different. SSN and PSN are two different. But if you keep the same column name, then that column which is in two tables has to always be prefixed by its table name. So had this also been SSN, I would have written this as school.pssn, right?
Same like classes and methods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. How we invoke object and method. How object name dot method name.
Yeah.
So we would only for those columns which are duplicated in two tables, right? Those columns which are in a single table only, no need to do the for those. Understood?
Got it.
Okay, so now for this query, what do we have to select? School name. School name is which column name?
This name.
And principal name is which column name?
Name.
Now, from how many tables now are we selecting from?
From school.
Both the tables, right? Only school? No, we are selecting from both the tables because the principal name is coming from this table
Yeah.
and the school name is coming from this table. So from principal comma school. Okay, you there?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And
And
wouldn't we
now,
have? Sorry. Wouldn't like since we did select S name first, which is school.
no,
After.
that order is not important. Order is not important. If you want to follow those etiquettes, it's good, but it's not mandatory. We'll see if this output clicks. So you will get your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so select S name comma P name from principal comma school. Now where? Now first thing first, we have to join these two tables on the mutual column, on the primary key and foreign key. So which is the primary key, foreign key? This
Primary key
this
that
one, right?
form.
Where principal dot SSN equals to school dot PSSN. This is the mutual column, right? This SSN and PSSN. This data is there in both the tables, correct?
Yes. Wait.
So
And here you said that we don't have to do the prefix, right, for the principal and school. So
yeah, you can skip that also if you wish to. So first we'll do with this and then we'll try to improvise and try to eliminate the unwanted stuff.
sounds good.
So with this and now use the and. You know what the and logical operator does?
Yeah. Like it has to be like if.
Conditions, both the conditions should be true,
Yes.
right? So as there's no other filtration, like we're not filtering anything, like display name and principal name and school name of those schools which were established after 1950. Is the question asking for that? Any filtration?
Not asking for anything.
So we can just stop over here and give a semicolon and you get it. You see?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay, now going by your instructions, let's try to eliminate the, okay.
Can we add one more like condition?
Yes, you can add as many conditions as you want as per the, okay. Now this principle, so normally what we do is we keep this primary key and foreign key name as the same one. Normally if you go across the tutorials on the internet, you'll see them, they've named the primary key and foreign key as the same. So this approach is more suitable. This approach is more suitable because the table name dot the primary key and table name dot the foreign key.
Just
Okay.
to get it in the memory.
Yeah. So now if I try to increase the difficulty level and if I ask you to display school name, principal name, which were established after 1950. Now tell me.
Same thing as what we did in the previous part, but in after SSN equals PSSN, we can just use
And
another. Yeah. And YOE is greater than 1950.
okay, these two, correct?
Yeah.
So like this we can query them. This is how you join two tables on the primary key and the foreign key. Understood?
Yes.
Is one to one clear? Now,
Yeah.
now you can fire the similar query which we had done. So if can you display me the school which is having the oldest principal?
Oh.
Display name of school having the eldest principal. Eldest or oldest?
No, that's.
Hmm?
And either one is fine.
Yeah. So tell me now, how will you query this? Tell me. So first
I
thing
mean,
first, what do we have to select?
let's select S name.
Okay. Now from both the tables, right? Because the age of the principal is mentioned where?
It's in the P.
Principal column, and the name what we have to display is mentioned where, which table? So if you are querying something which you will need data from both the tables, then you have to select from both the tables. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I just say display me the name of the oldest principal, then
And we just need principal.
then only from principal, because the age and the principal name I'm getting on the principal table itself. So no need to drag school table in that, right?
Yes.
But here I am asking you to display school name having the oldest principal. So now join them from which table? Okay, you can also give a alias. You know what's alias called as?
Yeah, like it's just references. So if you type S, then
Yeah,
S will refer to school.
beautiful. So I'm just giving an alias because principal is a very big name. So school S and principal P, where now I can join them. S dot S S N is
PSSN.
equal to P dot PSSN, right?
It should be the other way around. It should be S dot PSSN and P dot.
Okay, and P dot S. And what? And
I don't know, like that. We would have to like do some for loop or
no,
something.
we'll do
Like
nested query. For loop we'll be doing PLSQL. We'll be doing where?
PLS.
PLSQL. So where age equals to nested query, select
Max.
max age from
Principal.
principal. So which is the, we have three schools, right? 101, 5 and 3. Out of 101, 105 and 103. 101 is 45, 105 is 49 and 103 is 58. So Charles is Ryerson. Okay. So the answer
Yeah.
should be Ryerson is the school which is having the oldest principal, right? Here you
Yeah.
go. Getting it?
Yes.
So this is how you need to query your tables if we are using data from multiple tables, correct?
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So now let's take the one to many scenario now. So what was that? Employee and
Work. But,
department, right?
yeah. Wait.
Okay.
No. We don't. Because each employee will only have one.
One too many. Now we are doing one too many. So
That's
one
fine.
department will have many employees,
Yeah.
right? So which table will I create first?
You will create the many table.
The one table, because one's primary key will go in many's foreign key. What is the thumb
Yeah.
rule?
The one primary key goes into many.
Once pk goes to m as fk. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why one's table should be in shape first. So let's create the department table first. Let me see if I have any table with the name department. No. Okay, so I can create it. So create table department, what, D number 5. Okay, I'll show you one thing. You can also write these queries in a notepad and then run them over here. Okay, I was going to just share that with you. So see, Krish, can you see my notepad plus plus?
Yeah.
Okay, can you see I'm writing a query over here?
Yes.
What is that? So people are comfortable with notepad because you can navigate top, bottom, left, right, do multiple selections. SQL, it's a bit tedious in
Yeah.
editing part. So create
Yeah.
table dpt. Now first column. So you can try this also today. Try
Okay.
spooling, try doing this. Primary key. Next is the name, which is varchar 2 of 10, not null, and city, right?
Yes. That works.
Okay, so we'll give 15 because we'll have big names, right? New Jersey and all those. So 10, and let's stick to created. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now, okay, now if you want to run this code in your SQL editor, first save it as .sql. Save it as what extension?
Not SQL.
The spooling, we save it as what? What extension?
Sorry.
The spooling, what we do? It is .txt. When we
Yeah.
spool, what is the extension we give to the
Oh,
file?
dot. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dot txt.
But if you are writing a query and you wish to run that query in Oracle, what do you give as the extension?
Dot SQL.
.sql. Okay. So I'll just give it dpt.sql. What I'll give?
Dot SQL.
Okay. Do you want to insert record also in this after creation?
Insert what? Sorry.
Do you want to insert records also? The department names records? Do you want to
We can,
do
right?
you want to insert into dpt
Yeah, we can do that as well.
values? Department number 10 is IT and it's in I thought you were in the United States, so I was taking the cities of United States. Let's take cities of Canada now. So department number 20 is sales, Toronto, and yes, Krish,
I
or the
live in a city.
other
I
city.
live in a. I live in the city. It's next to Toronto.
So
It's
what?
spelling is a little bit long. It's
But it
M
should be in
I.
15 characters.
You know, it's less than 15. Don't worry.
Tell me. It's AU.
Mississauga.
Mrs.
Yeah.
How do you spell this? Mississauga.
Mississauga.
Mississauga. Okay.
It's like Mississippi,
Yeah,
but yeah,
Mississauga. Is there any history behind naming the city names with such names?
what was the question?
Is there any history behind naming these cities with such unique names, or
Sometimes
prefixing it with
it's like
Mississippi?
someone's last name. Sometimes it's like a word someone likes. Like it can be anything. Like we have another city called Oakville. Like
Okay, let's. How do you spell that?
I'll let you know. Oakville.
O-A-K V
V for violin. Like
V-I.
L-L-E.
Oh. So now when I run this file, it will create me a table, and it will also insert these records in that table, provided there are no errors. Provided there are no errors. Okay. So I've saved it as what extension,
SQL.
and which location have I saved it as? Here, right? So copy that location, go to your SQL prompt, give a at the rate, at the rate, paste your file name. Paste your file name. What is it?
Department.SQL.
Are you getting this point?
Yeah.
And now as I hit enter, done.
Oh, okay.
And now if I do select star from,
Department.
make sense?
Wow. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So if you have any SQL file or any data which you have copied from the internet, you can just paste them into a file, save it as .sql, and then just run that file with the at the rate command. Okay, making sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so the first table is in shape, right?
Yeah.
Let's create the second table also. And the beauty of this is I can just share you this file, so you can, it'll save you a lot of time to create the files again. Okay, so I'll just query this also. Select star from deep. I'll just query. Okay, let me see if I have any EMP table, because if there's a table which is already existing, this query will not execute. So see, I have a table EMP, so I'll have to drop it. So drop means drop the table along with its structure, along with the. So this is permanently deleting a table. You cannot revoke the drop command. You cannot revoke the drop command. If you dropped a table, means permanently gone.
It drops it and saves it, right?
No, it's dropped once and for all. Gone.
No, I'm saying it drops it, then it also saves. I forget
Yeah,
what's
yeah, it will save the previous work also, because it's a DDL command. The content of that table is deleted now. That table cannot be revoked. Requires a very high level of expertise now by some expert hardware engineer to get that data back. So it's very, so whenever you are given a task to drop a table, please take your manager's approval in the mail. Sir, I've got a query to drop the table XYZ. Please confirm, is it necessary to drop it? When he gives you a green signal, then only drop it.
Yeah.
So as this is my personal laptop, so I didn't think twice before dropping it. So now let's create which table?
Employee.
So I'll just create it EMP. Okay,
Yeah.
E
Should we
number.
make it into any file? Or is it meant to do everything?
Yeah, I'll do it in the same file. Then I'll drop DPT also, and then run the file once again.
Yeah.
E number, E name, then salary. Salary is okay. So these columns were there. Now next, what is left? Now let's try giving the same column name. D number, references, which table
Department.
and which column? Make sense? Now let's try inserting 5 records in this also. So employee number 101, Alice. Alice is my tuition teacher when I was a kid in third, fourth standard. She would teach me English and maths. So this is a very, I remember her by just writing her name as the first entry in the table.
That's nice.
So 800, and department Alice is working, let's say in IT. So 10, right?
Yeah.
Now, so can we have one more employee working in department number 10?
Yes.
Yeah,
We can add
and
as many as we want.
yeah, so 102 we can have Ben 900, and Ben 2 is working in IT,
Yeah.
and 103 Charles is working in 20, 104 Dom is working in 20 also. If I give a person who's working in department 60, will it work?
Throw an error.
Yeah, it'll throw an error because 60 is not there in the department table because it is referencing from there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now this should work. And if I do a select star from EMP, okay, I'll do the select stars together so that it shows me both the tables together. Okay, makes sense. I save this, and now I have to go and drop which table?
You already dropped the MP.
No, the DPT table, because I'll be running this query again, right? I'll be running this query all over again.
That's
So
right.
I've saved the work, yes, and now just go and execute. Got it? And I can share this file also with you. So you just have to hit enter and you'll get all the records also in your table.
Yes.
Okay, now I want you to tell me the city-wise city-wise total income, or city-wise average income.
Okay.
What's the average income of New Jersey?
New Jersey is gonna be $10.
850.
Oh, 850. Sorry, I was looking at the number.
Average
850.
of Toronto, 1050.
Yeah.
And average of Mississauga, 1200.
1200.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
want this. Display city-wise average income. Now, can you do that for me? Okay, first let's do a simple query. Okay, this we'll do later on. Display me the name and the name and the city in which the employee is working.
So we can. Okay.
Tell me now. Now you
We can
now you
select.
dictate. You dictate. I'll type.
Yeah. Select e-name and d-name.
Select e name, comma
D-name
d name. Okay.
from department and EMP.
Where
Where yeah.
d dot
D-name or dino is equal to e dot yes.
no filtrations, right?
No.
Here you get. Alice is in IT, Ben in IT, Charles in sales, Dom in sales, Alcid in production. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's increase the difficulty level gradually. Display me how many departments are there in New Jersey. So if I update the Oakville department to New Jersey, let's say. So if I want to update this Oakville department has shifted to New Jersey. How do I do that now?
Update table name.
So what do I
Update.
say? Relocate the departments in Oakville to New Jersey. Tell me. Update.
Yeah. In department table.
Update table. Yeah. Update
Table department.
DPT. set. Which column are you changing?
City,
City to
and
to New Jersey,
equals
right?
yeah, where city equals New Jersey. Oh, sorry, city equals home.
Where city like, okay,
Like,
like, okay.
can you just quickly, just 1 second, go over what the difference was between equal to a string or like a string?
Equal. If there's a string on the RHS,
Yeah.
then instead of using equal to, you can use like. Over here, you can use
We
equal
can also
to.
use equal to.
So instead of that, we can use like. In
We
the
can also use equal to if we.
yeah, if yes, if you can use like gives you a filtration, gives you more variety. Okay, I'll give you. See, whichever city whose name is starting with O,
Yeah.
whichever city whose name is starting with
Oh.
O, change those city names to New Jersey. If this was the question, then okay. As of now, I'll do this. So this should work also. Done now.
Yes. And we
Just
can
for a
select
proof.
our
For a
department.
proof. Okay. Now my next question is, uh, all those cities were starting with the name with the letter P. Change it to Toronto. Now what? Update the city whose name is starting with character P to Toronto. This is my question now. Now, how will you update this? Tell me.
So we can update department first. Set city equals Toronto, where can we do something like an array or city and then square
No,
bracket?
we can use city like and P percentage. Like the first character is P, after that XYZ, anything can be there.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
done. So now finance has been shifted from Pune to Toronto, right?
Yes.
Done.
Cool. Yeah. And now you want me to output how many cities there are with each name?
Means
Like how many? Like because before you
yeah,
asked, right?
yes.
This is how many times New Jersey
This
is
was the
repeated.
question, right? Before we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, display city wise average income. So what is the average income of Toronto is, there's no one working in the finance department, right? So we still just have people working in New Jersey, Toronto, and Mississauga.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 10, 20, 30 only we have people working, right? I didn't
Yes.
want to insert more records. So now can you tell me the average salary? So in New Jersey is 850,
Yeah.
Toronto is 1050,
Yes.
and
That's
Mississauga
how
is
it will.
1200, right? Because there's only one employee over there.
Yeah.
So how do we do
Yes.
that now? Tell me.
So we can select
Yeah, sir. First select. So the
salary.
output should be New Jersey 850, Toronto 1050, Mississauga
Select
1200, right? So you
yeah.
got to select what city, comma the
Salary.
sal, average of the sal, right? Not sal, but the average of the sal we want to show, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So average of sal. Now for how many tables?
Where from both we. It's gonna
Department
be
D,
department
comma employee
E.
E, where D dot, the mutual column is, right?
Yes.
And group by which table? Group by
Nice city.
city. Yeah, grouping by city. Got it?
Yeah.
And if you want to order them in ascending order with their average salary, then
we can send.
an order by the average sal. So it'll come in ascending
Yeah.
order.
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah.
Can you getting how you go to play around with these queries, Krish? So this
Yeah.
will
So
make you a good data analyst. So you will be able to play with data. So with this current
yeah.
generation, this current era which we are surviving in right now, this is all about there's a vast ocean of data. You just have to pull and make sense out of that data, right?
That's
So
right.
this is what these engineers are doing right now, data scientists are doing. So this is why companies like Facebook, these are making a lot of revenue because they have that data and they have that team which can extract information from that data. They have a
That's
team of
right.
scientists which can extract. So this that is very far off from right now, but baby steps starts from this stage. This is how you start playing with data and extracting information from that data. So this is your initial stages, and as you grow on, then you can grow and pursue higher courses of a data scientist. You there? Or is it did
Yes.
it is it one hour is done? It should we send a fresh
I know.
invite?
I know. So what happened was I did it a different way.
Okay.
I didn't organize meetings, so it would work better.
Okay, so it's not a problem now. So this is
Yeah.
how you query your tables and after joining them, correct? So you can give a table alias and then prefix that to the column which is mutual. Okay, if I try to do this, tell me what problem should occur.
It's not gonna output. It's gonna spit an error, of course.
Why?
Oh wait, you're not done yet.
What sort of error will this throw? Tell me.
Select everything from department D employee where
As I told, the columns which are mutual in both the tables, they should always be prefixed with the table name. So when I say star, I also mean D number, right? Hello.
yeah,
So when
yeah,
I mean D number means I'm just mentioning over there D number without the table name.
yes,
So this will create ambiguity. This will create, okay, it is showing EMP. I should have been given EMP over there, right? It's EMPE, right?
yes,
But that still will not cause much difference. Will still, okay, it is working. But normally whenever you do a select, so see if I do a select D number from EMP comma EMPE comma department D, where E dot DNO equals to D dot DNO. See, you see this
yeah.
column?
Ambiguously defined.
Yeah, why is it ambiguous? Because it's there in two tables, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so this is what I was expecting. So whenever you're working with a column which is there in two tables, always try to prefix it with the
the dot D.
yeah. What happened? Is there no D number in EMP?
No, wait, there should be.
There should be.
Yeah,
EMP D no invalid identifier. Okay, but
because it's a reference, right?
we've used E over there, no?
It's just a reference.
No, we've used
I don't think it would be allowed to like print a reference only.
no, we've used this alias over here, no? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then it works. So one to many also is done. Now what about many to many? Many to many, what we do is generally we create a third table. What do we create?
Oh, great. That's
You
nice.
create a third table which references both the primary keys, which references both the
Primary.
primary keys. So let's take this example, student and subject. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll make a clone of this. Create table, student. I should not have a table student. No, not there. And
What about subject? Like table
student.
subject?
And then what we have? Roll number, student name, and what? Student. Okay, just give two columns. Student name, and okay, just give student age also, and we can give
And
gender.
gender.
We can give gender also.
Yeah.
Gender varchar 2 of 1. For age we will give should be greater than 18, greater than or equal to 18 because this is college. And for this we will give check the gender in male or female. Okay, check closes, this closes, this closes. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now which table do we need to create?
Subject.
Subject, right? So create table subject. Just let me check if I have a table subject. I don't want it to throw any errors. No, not there. Perfect. Then what? Subject number, subject name, and okay, let's keep two.
Yeah.
Correct. Now,
Yes.
so insert into which table? Okay, now we need to create the third table. We have to create which table now?
Third table.
Third table, which will reference both their primary key. So create table result or timetable or whatever you want to keep it. What have I? The third table name was what?
Yes. What's your
Whatever name you wish to keep to the third table, and it will
yeah.
references. So R number references which table? Student which column?
Roll number.
And S number references which
References.
table?
Subject.
Which
S number.
which column?
SNM.
S number, right? And if they ask for descriptive attributes, if they ask for any descriptive attributes, those should go in the third table. Those should go in the
Third table. Okay.
so like fee. So if Alice is doing C, what fee is she paying? Okay,
Yeah.
so fees will be. So this is called as a descriptive attribute. What is this called as?
Descriptive attribute.
So this always goes in which table? The third table. Okay.
Third table. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's insert record in the first table. Student. So can we copy it from the employees? Can we make this into student and
Like
make
all the employee.
yeah the employees?
Maybe you
Well,
can control F and maybe find and replace.
control A, replace emp with
That's okay.
student. Okay.
Replace all.
So Alice, what are the third column in this? age, right? 19, 20, 21, 19, 20. And what was the, this was the gender, right? F M M M. Make sense? Now in the second table, what do we do? Insert into student. This is what? Subject.
So what you can do, sir, you can highlight that one section paragraph, like that we're going to change subject to student to subject. Now
But
highlight the whole thing. Highlight line 22 to 26.
okay.
Then Control F. And then here you can find
Student to student to.
subject.
Okay, will this work? I hope it doesn't replace everything.
If it doesn't, you can control.
It
Control.
replaces. It replaces everything.
So you
18
can,
occurrences. So we can reward that back.
You can try, and then
This was student, right?
if that doesn't work, you can just do as I say next.
Yeah, then we can just copy paste and do it a manual one. So this will be what,
You can
subject?
do it a little bit faster too. If you want, I can show you with it.
How?
Control F again.
Control F again.
And then
Do I need to select it?
just no, don't.
Replace. Okay. So I want to replace student
And then click
with
find next. Yeah, and then wait. You went one too far, but you can just click replace now, and it's gonna replace the one that's highlighted. And then replace.
and now find next. This
Yeah,
one.
then if you have like a lot of them, and if you want to change not every single one, but some specific ones, you can do it like this.
Okay. Find next. Student. Okay, sorry. Not
There you go.
this.
Right there.
Okay. I'll do it manually. This was okay. Subject, student, right? Subject, let's give the series 10, 20. Let's give this series to the subjects.
Yeah.
And subject, let's give what? C programming.
Just write C, Java,
C++,
Python.
Java, Python, and SQL. That's all right. After this, there's nothing. Okay. So now I want Alice to pursue C and C++. Alice to pursue.
C and C++.
So now which table will we be inserting into? Timetable.
Yeah.
So Alice is 101 and C is 10 and she's paid 1000 for that. Okay.
Yes.
So Alice can do one more course. See, your creations and your insertions should both reflect many to many. Should both reflect. Just by merely creating the third table and not inserting proper values will not help. So now we need to show Alice is also doing C++ and she's paid 1500 for that. So now one student with many subjects, correct? And 10 has been done by Ben also and he's paid 1200 for that, correct?
Yeah.
And 10 has been done by 103 also and he's paid 1500 for that. And 10 3 is also doing 30 and has paid 1000 for it. Making sense?
Yeah.
And now we can select the 3 tables: student, course, for a subject, right? And
Yeah. Timetable.
timetable. Okay. And
And
now
also,
we
sir, if you want, you can try one thing. Try pressing Alt Shift and the down key on the
student.sql. Yeah, one second. Yeah, tell me. Alt,
Alt Shift down key.
Alt, Shift down
Like,
key.
okay, it works in like Visual Studio Code. Um, no, that's a little bit different. But when you do VS Code, right, it like copies a line into the next line, so you
Okay,
don't have
that
to
is, I guess,
control.
replace this. Yeah, this a mirroring. It does. Like if I
Yeah.
want a copy of 16 to 17, right?
No, it inserts a new line and then it inserts like the same line. So
Yeah,
it
it
copies
inserts the
everyone
same line.
one.
Correct. Yeah, it does some
Yeah.
copying.
Just
So
wondering if that happened here as well to make it
yeah,
easier.
it works. It works in Notepad plus plus. I've seen someone doing that. So if I save this and I just do a
Yeah.
query on what's the location where we had saved this.
It was D and then Krish SQL.
No, it will be here
D
for
drive
me.
Krish SQL.
Yeah, right. And now I've named this as student. I've named this as
So,
unable to find student.
maybe
Student dot
capitalization.
no
No.
student dot SQL. Save as where am I saving it? I'm saving it in Krish SQL by
SQL.
student
Yeah.
dot SQL. Yes, student dot SQL. Correct. Okay, there's a double T. Done. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. So now on this, I want you to fire number of student who's enrolled for C.
Okay.
Display number of students who enrolled for C. Tell me.
So select.
Select
For this one, we're gonna need sub name.
sub name. I just want number of students who have enrolled for C. I just want the answer to be 13, 14, 15.
Wait, 13, 14, 15.
Like, like people who've enrolled for C. 13
Yeah.
people, 14 people, like in our
Okay.
case, 2 people, 3 people, whatever.
Then
So in
okay, then we can have S number in.
no, I want the count of that. So in our case, C is number 10 and number 10 is done by 101, 102 and 103. Yeah, 3. I just want
Yeah.
the output to be 3.
Yes.
This is my expected output.
Okay, so we can have R num and where select
Mm,
R num.
no, we'll do select and then we'll do an aggregate function called as count. Okay, and count, if you're using, you can blindly use star if you want to use count. So when you're using count, just use star. Select count from which table now? From all the 3 tables, right?
Yeah.
So student,
Source, subject, and
subject, comma, timetable.
yeah.
Okay, do you want to make a shortcut for them? st subject su and
And
timetable tt. Where now join the first table to the third table on the mutual column. Join the
where
first
we can do st
where
dot
st dot roll number
R num.
equals to tt dot roll number, right?
Yeah.
And
And
the second column, second table
s
to the
num.
third table with the mutual column.
So su dot SNO is equal to tt.sno.
And is there any filtration?
Uh, where and tt.sno is equal to 10.
And we want C, right? C is in which sub
tt.
name?
Sorry, no, su.
As is sub name repeated in other tables?
No.
So then no need to prefix the column. No need to prefix the table name.
Could we have just done like su.sno is equal to 10?
No, we need for C, right? Where the querying is enrolled for C, so the where should have the C.
But then SNO assigned when SNO is assigned to 10, that is also equal to C.
No,
Right?
but we
So
don't know that SNO is assigned to 10. We just know that from the front end we are just getting the C. Like we are creating a user interface. We are
got it,
creating a
got it.
user interface and asking the user enter subject name.
Okay, and then got it. And then the backend numbers, that's not what
Yeah,
the user is seeing.
that's hidden from the
I see
user.
what happened. I
So
see
we
what
are
happened.
just entering something of this nature.
Got it. Got it. I understand
And
that.
here if we enter C, and I want to then show him that C, 3 people have enrolled for C. Okay.
Yeah.
So now enter and they should get 3. Done.
Yes.
So this is how you go to now query your tables. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Display me total revenue generated from C.
Okay, so again,
Just you have to change the function name from display count to sum. As simple as that.
yeah.
So what will you say? Remove
So,
count and do what? Sum. And sum always on the numeric column. So which numeric column are we doing sum on? Fees.
please.
That's all. Rest everything is remains same to same. So how much is the revenue by C? From Alice we got 1000. From when we got 1200 at 2200. And from Charles we got 1000. From Charles we got 1500, right? So how much?
Yeah.
3700,
37.
right?
Yeah.
Do you see this?
That's good, yes.
Yeah, so this is how you need to play around with these tables, and this how you do the joining of the tables, correct?
That's right.
And this join which we have used is called as natural join. Is used which join?
Natural sum.
Yeah, so there are many types of joins: inner join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join. So this is the
And so we should spool it
simplest
now.
of them, natural join.
Yeah, and so we should spool it so it saves.
Huh? Yeah, correct. We should always do a spool off so that all this is recorded and we can get that text file. Done? Good one. Nice for
Yeah.
remind. Thanks for reminding me.
Like
So
laundry.
now we can do JDBC. So we can create a form, registration form, and accept the employee number, employee name, salary of the user, and then insert it in the database. Those front end entries, correct? Or we
Yeah.
can have a form which will take the subject name and display number of people who have enrolled for that subject using Java. And this
Basically.
queries will be the backbone. So your understanding of the query should be this query should be the backbone of your database. Okay.
Got it.